Michigan football just had their spring game on April 2nd. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with the spring game. I love the spring game because A, it's football, and B, it gives us a chance to see what the team might look like in the fall. I hate the spring game because it's like getting an appetizer, 5 months before you get your entree. But I digress. Today, I'm going to give my top 5 takeaways from the Michigan spring game. Now, keep this in mind. I'm not an expert, nor am I an insider. I'm simply a Michigan football fan making videos for other Michigan football fans. So if you want to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, it'll go a long way. Thank you. Before we get to the top 5, let's go over some of the honorable mentions from the spring game. I love the Michigan football uniforms. The all blues, the all maize. They've got to break out the all maize at some point this year. My brother was like, what if they wear the all maize against Penn State? Since last year, Penn State denied Michigan that chance. I think we might see it. The team looked like they were having a lot of fun out there, and you could see it in the touchdown celebrations, the keg stands, the limbo. One guy went full Joe Horn, pulling a cell phone out from under the goalpost. I thought the offensive line held up pretty well out there, especially considering these games are usually like defenses have the advantages. And Michigan lost 2 starters on the offensive line, but they filled one of those with Olu Olawatimi. Hope I'm saying that right. Close enough. And he did a great job out there. Defensive line definitely made some plays too, especially in the second half, but time will tell if they're as good as they were last year. Those are some big shoes to fill. And the last honorable mention before we get into the top 5 is that the receivers are going to be filthy on this team. A lot of talent. Andrel Anthony, we saw what Darius Clemens did in the second half of the spring game. Stepped up, made a big touchdown catch. He's just that big-bodied receiver, getting comparisons to Nico Collins. Then, of course, we got AJ Henning. And then we got the return of Ronnie Bell. I think people are still going to be sleeping on Ronnie, even though he's one of the leaders on the team and just a damn good receiver. And now the official top 5 takeaways from the Maze Pylon YouTube channel. Number 5 is I have some concerns about the deep ball. We did see Clemens made a huge 65-yard catch from Alan Bowman in the second half of the game. But besides that, just a lot of misconnections on deep passes. And I know it's a very small sample size, and I know it's just the spring game. But this is something that's plagued Michigan for several years now, is just missing on deep passes. We saw it a lot with Shea Patterson, wide open receivers like the Alabama Bowl game. Michigan probably could have won that game if Patterson had connected on any of those deep passes. Now, he's not on the team now, obviously, but I still have those concerns. Like, if Michigan can start hitting the deep ball, it's going to help us a lot, especially with those explosive receivers. And honestly, it really just depends on who's playing quarterback. I don't have as many concerns if it's going to be JJ, but he's not healthy right now, so who knows? Cade is a great leader. He's shown that. He took Michigan far last year. The ceiling is maybe a little bit limited with him in there, but if JJ gets healthy, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about the quarterbacks here in a minute, I would just love to see more of those receivers being hit in stride downfield. Number 4 is that I think position switches are going to pay off. We saw Sainer still play some DB in this game and make some nice plays, and he played some offense too, so we might be seeing him play 2 ways in the fall. And then, of course, Khalil Mullings played running back. He played it well. Now, I don't know if for sure they're going to switch him from linebacker to running back, but it looks like they might want to think about it because he kind of looked like Hassan Haskins out there. I talked about one of my concerns being the deep ball, but my number 3 takeaway is that the young quarterbacks look pretty dang good, especially Davis Warren. That dude was zipping the ball. He played great, and he looks like he can make all the throws. And then Alex Orji came in, and he showed off his arm strength too, as well as his ability to run. They were running some read option when he came in there, and it looked good. The future is bright at quarterback, and hopefully nobody transfers. Number 2 takeaway is that Michigan wants to get the ball to AJ Henning. They just want the ball in his hands. Punt returns, they're going to run a lot of jet sweeps. They're going to get the ball to him on quick throws. They want him to have the ball, and they made the comment that they want to use him like the Niners used Deebo Samuel, and I wouldn't be mad about that. He looks like he's got the skill set. And drum roll, the number 1 takeaway from the Michigan spring game is I'm super excited about this backfield. Every time that Blake Corum touches the ball, it's electricity. I mean, he could house it at any time. And then you have Donovan Edwards, who is unbelievable at running routes, catching the ball on top of his running ability. Add to that Tavier Dunlap, who got a lot of touches and looked good in this game, and possibly Khalil Mullings if he makes the switch to running back. And that is about as solid as a backfield as you can get in college football. If you watched the Michigan spring game, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And as always, go blue.